Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Bringling. Entire Bringle team, along with Women Lives, SoloWorks, and Poonam Foundation, would like to welcome all of you here on the day 6 of Bringle Blended Meetups platform. And we also welcome to all those people who are watching it live on our YouTube channel, Bringle Talks. Today's topic is customer lifecycle. Now, what is customer lifecycle? It is basically about customer various touch points in the entire life cycle. Whenever you have a customer entering at different stages of the entire cycle, like in an insurance industry, various customer touch points would be lead generation and conversion, customer onboarding, customer servicing, renewals, and even claims and maturity. What we are going to learn today from this entire engagement is that how do we look at engaging customers, getting them onboarded, attain customer delight, collect feedback post delivery, and various future connects. Also, it is very important how do we improve the entire experience of a customer, especially with respect to culture, their needs, and beliefs from the cross border perspective. And when I was talking to Sven this afternoon, I realized a very important aspect that how Germans would like to introduce themselves. Frau Sven. Sven, I hope I am right. And with this, I would just like to, give a little introduction about Sven. He is he's a founder and CEO of Mainstage Incubator. He's a sales director for Europe and India at Embol Technologies, founder of Scaling Agile Global and Scaling DevOps, startup enthusiast and coach. He's also a speaker at various events, helping developers and organizations build high quality software using the AI powered platform Gamma. I would like to request all businesses or startups from all across the globe to upload their business presentations at bringleacademy.com/course/business sustainability. And we would select 10 businesses with whom we will work together to help them become a unicorn and help them achieve their $1 billion dream. With this, I would request Charu to introduce our today's speakers and initiate the session.
Thank you so much, Aisha. A very good evening, good afternoon to everybody. This is Charu Mehrotra, founder of online magazine womenlies.com, which is listed in top 40 women's online magazine to follow in 2020. It's such a pleasure to welcome speakers and introduce them. We have Nitin Berry, COO Sports Transstadia India. He has been part of Transstadia, a 360-degree sports company since its inception and built it to the scale today. It's a world-class stadium in Ahmedabad having the mission of setting up 5 stadiums in 3 years. Key sports and football management and project implementation consultants from grassroots to professional in India, responsible for identification, development, and growth of profitable new business and lead in business development team in sourcing, managing, securing, and implementing new business opportunities, ensuring business growth through directing and managing business development activities to ensure these are delivered in accordance with the organizational strategy. Welcome, Nitin, to the show. We have Rajesh Tolia, who is CEO at India Speakers Bureau. In 2003, he conceptualized and successfully launched Call Connect, India's first and only industry-endorsed call center, BPO, and KPO Youth lifestyle magazine. In 2003, he initiated Kaiser, India's leading training organization, to offer certified training, coaching, mentoring, and skill enhancement programs. In 2008, embarked on another facet of human resources, that is personal development. He initiated International Finishing Academy, And in 2011, he started India Speakers Bureau to promote motivational speakers to corporates and institutes. Welcome, Rajesh. Then we have Mandar Kanvinde, Managing Director, CEM Brand Capita Private Limited. Mandar is pioneer in India for building value systems through customer experience management, CEM, with 20 plus years of experience in mass communication and is a customer experience thought leader. Associated with IIM Indore for delivering a program on design thinking for HR practicum. Founder Director of CEM Brand, Capita Private Limited, India's leading customer experience management consultancy and training organization, specializes in building customer centric organizations. Under leadership of Mandar, Brand Capita provides a unique perspective and insight into customer experience initiatives that create deliberate and emotionally engaging customers that drive value and build competitive advantage. Welcome, Mandar. Wow, we are having so many experts today, and I'm so eager to learn and gain knowledge from them. So, my first question goes to Nitin. Today, the concept of sports has changed, and in your mission, you mentioned it's wellness, leisure, and sports, each as a different audience and needs. How you are able to bring the synergy into it? Please share your opinion.
Thank you, Charu. When we launched Transtadia in 2010, uh, which is India's first public-private partnership project, uh, it was a virgin territory, an unknown space to be in.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very interesting because there were learnings that we imbibed from UK, especially. We have a stadiumologist who's built stadiums in UK who's guided us. So
Okay.
first and foremost, what we did was, and we are in Gujarat, which is actually the diabetes capital of India, but now it's also doing well in sports. So we went to the present Prime Minister and former Chief Minister, Mr. Modi, and said, we need to first change the whole ecosystem within the state. So hence, a policy making was our first effort that we brought about.
Okay.
Thereafter, there's something, whoever is based in India, we have something called uh, the Khel Mahakumbh. Basically, it's now every state is started to embrace it, and there's Khelo India Games, which is ensuring that the citizens take to sport. So Gujarat, we had over 5 million people participating from age groups of 10 up till 65. And that whole inertia was created. By then, our stadium got ready. Our stadium was built in 2006.
Okay.
When you build such a large stadium, you need to make sure it getting that approval. So I started work in 2005 to search for the right event that will launch that stadium. And being, I reached out to Star Sports, which had the rights to which most people now know of it, the Premier Kabaddi League, which is quite popular.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the World Cup for Kabaddi was introduced in 2006, where we had 12 nations which came and participated, right from Argentina to Australia.
Wow.
It actually, for all the media pundits and all the marketeers, it took everybody by surprise. A sport which was only used to being played on the mud, but Star Sports packaged it very well. And we made sure because all the public transport in the state, which is your inter-district transport,
Mm-hmm.
branded with the kabaddi and all that. And we had over 15 days, 21,000 spectators coming into our stadium. It's
Wow.
obviously an indoor sport, which you have seen on TV. So
Correct.
it took everybody by surprise.
Must.
Uh, by then, the chief minister had changed, and he had become the Prime Minister. Uh, we also then, on behalf of the state, went to uh, AIFF, and actually it just called off day for yesterday, but the FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup was going to be hosted at our venue.
Wow, fantastic.
So what we told the Prime was that we will be a multi-sport venue, unlike just cricket stadiums, which is the most popular sport in India. And we will make sure that right from grassroots to world-class events will be hosted. So that's football and kabaddi, which I am
Introduce.
bragging about. But that's not our main revenue model. Our main revenue model at our stadium is we also have a social club with
Okay.
over 2,000 members and 8,000 family members coming and utilizing our services. Now you need to keep them engaged and
Engage.
make sure that they pay on a daily basis. They spend with us for our operating expenses to be taken care of. So we have made sure that we create a very, very robust sporting program there for club members, which from right from children to elders. We have beautiful overlook stadium overlooks the lake in Ahmedabad. If you visit Ahmedabad railway, that's a massive lake, and our stadium is right across the road. So it's got a very
Okay.
picturesque view to it,
Okay.
and continuously from 6 in the morning until 10 in the night, there's a lot of sporting activities going on.
Okay.
So that makes
Hello.
hello, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. You can continue, please.
Yeah, yeah. So what happened? Can you hear me?
You're audible. Yeah. Yeah. You're audible. You can continue.
So yeah, so on a continuous basis, make sure the schools in Ahmedabad come and participate in school sport activities, and on a monthly basis, we have created a IP where over 110 schools of Ahmedabad participate. Every month, we have a new sport league games. What we are making sure is what we are making sure is
Mm-hmm.
there's continuous footfalls of around the sporting event. Now that makes sure families come in. Now when families come in, we also have F&B facility in the stadium.
Okay.
So there's an additional upscaling of revenues because they eat, so they spend, and the Gujaratis love to eat,
Correct.
right? So that is one part of the thing. Our stadium is, if you go onto the website, you'll see it. We have hospitality, stay facilities. We have the largest pillarless banquet facility in India in the arena. So we host many banquet
Events there.
events. And
Fantastic.
on the periphery of the stadium, we have retail, 70,000 square feet of retail. So it's a very busy urban infrastructure that we have built. And club membership is our biggest contributor to the revenues. So we are making sure the club members are continuously proactively engaged with events and F&B and other activities. Make sure we garner revenues, and our customer retention is high because the club membership is for minimum of 30 years.
Okay.
So we are making sure the member and his or her family members are staying engaged with us through this whole life cycle.
Fantastic. Hats off. You have definitely changed the branding of stadium and so many things happening together. I'm sure every day something is there and it's buzzing with people and activities happening there for sports related and other activities. So one more question I will ask, what would be your advice to our audiences on building the customer value using customer life cycle? Please share your opinion.
So in our business that we are in, the value comes only through ensuring the experience with the customer is flawless. The customer spends a minimum of about 2 to 3 hours a day with us, and we make sure we provide whichever part of the arena. So there's a club is very large. If you ever go on YouTube, you'll be able to see our stadium walk through.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Whether it's in F&B, whether it's a children play area, we have a very nice creche where if you as a mother want to spend time at the gym, you leave your under 5 child at the creche, and we have
Wow.
activities and an attendant.
Very thoughtful.
So basically, what we're making sure is we are an extended part of your family as a location. So after your residence and your place of work, the only third place you should think of is us.
Nice. Very good branding, I must say. Thank you so much for your share.
I think Charu, it also more like he has created a lifestyle for everybody.
I
So
agree.
he's changed the entire ecosystem and looked at the bigger aspect of it and went on creating a lifestyle for everyone. And
Very
that's
true.
amazing. So it's taking care of the larger
Uh,
projects at a mega scale. At the same time, family needs at a macro level.
Micro
So
level.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in present times, families are quite health aware and everybody wants to follow some activity, some hobby for sports.
Yeah.
So it's a one place where we can get the family and we can have all activities, sports activities. We can have our food also, and the babies, if we are having babies, they're also taken care of. Awesome planning, I must say that. So much to learn. Thank you so much.
and Charu, at the moment in the lockdown, we are a virtual club. Uh, we are still active and engaging with our members.
How
Oh,
are you
wow.
engaging now?
We have daily interactions with our club members, spending
Uh,
and we
I will request Nitin, can you repeat the last sentence? Because I think network is creating some issues today. We have challenges. Hello? Nitin, can you hear me?
Uh, I think network issues are there. Maybe we can.
So I think Rajshri, we can move on. We can
Yeah,
carry on with the
yeah,
next one.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so are we are having Rajesh Tolia?
No, he was not. He just SMSed me saying that he is not able to log in. He's out
Okay,
somewhere. Yeah.
sure. So my question goes to Mandar. Mandar, how you define the value system through customer experience management? And why do you call yourself pioneers? Audio.
Audio, audio.
Yeah. The,
Can you hear me
yes.
now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Perfect. Thank you
yes.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, great. So actually, I come from advertising background. Usually,
Okay.
been there for last almost 30 years. But a question came to me around 15 years back, wherein one of my clients that, okay, you're doing a wonderful job of promoting us and all that, but what about ROI? And that was a real question. In a sense, I can make with a whole lot of advertising budgets coming in picture and all the medias, I can make the person walk in up to your if it's a restaurant or a club, I would say. But what happens once he enters inside a club is an experience which counts, because when he moves out from a club, I'm just taking an example,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to carry the memories,
Very true.
right? So if he walks into the club, he's not going to get a good experience, so he might not come back.
Correct.
And then we started looking at what exactly is a branding about. It's not about advertising, it's not about promotion, because promotion makes you aware of what's been available.
Very true.
But when you interact with the brand, what you carry is a memory. And then we started getting into that situation in more depth around 13 years back. We started this brand capital around 13 years back, and this customer experience management word was not been known at all. I was really thinking whether I'm doing something right. But I had that passion that, okay, beyond advertising, there's something which talks about the branding.
Fantastic.
And then
Very
we
true.
started looking into that, what is that? And then we realized that what really counts for a human being is as we are emotional creatures.
Very true.
And you're realizing it today in those 21 days.
Yeah.
Everything been locked, and you're going to be a different person when you come out from these 21 days. I'm
I
sure about it.
agree.
And
I
that's going to
agree.
drive the economy in a sense, is my view. Now the thing is very simple, that whenever you go and interact with any brand, whether it's B2B, B2C, because we also look at B2B a lot. Almost around 60% of customers are B2B.
Okay.
But we realize there are two human beings who are interacting. It's not machines or anything. Or it might be a technology which is making things enable. But lastly, it takes care of your emotional needs. For
Right.
example, a Domino's a classic case because since everyone of us must have seen a Domino's, 30
Yeah.
minutes netto free, right?
Yep.
It's all emotional.
All emotional.
If it is 35 minutes, you're not going to die without having a pizza. Absolute. But it's all about an experience. And there is the life cycle comes in picture, a journey. A journey which starts with, yes,
Okay.
I want to have a pizza. That's where it starts. Or a pizza or anything. Then I start looking at who's going to deliver in 30 minutes because I have a guest at my place. And I want to commit them. So it's my brand commitment to them that, yes, I'll get you
Right.
something in 30 minutes. Then you go online, the expectations are changing. So we usually look at three things. What is customer thinking, feeling, and expecting when he's interacting with a company? And we try to align it with the organization because lastly, if the organization can't deliver it, it's of no use. You can't just commit. That's at started. That advertising is good. You have a few crores, I can get Amitabh Bachchan for you to promote. But if you can't deliver, that's going to be a disaster. Next time he might promote, he say, oh, that's a bad brand in a sense. I'll never go there again. And that's how it started about journeys and start looking into people expectations. And this is a beautiful journey in a sense when you interact with the customers or when a customer interacts with the company, it's all about expectations being set and delivered. 30 minutes net of free expectation being set through advertisement
Right.
and getting
Right.
delivered or sometimes not getting delivered purposefully. They have a strategy in a sense. After almost around 1,000 pizzas, they'll deliver one free. So that 30, that the guy who has got free will go and shout that I got free. So
Got
every
free.
1,000 more people will start finding that free pizzas. So that cycle has been well taken care of. So it has expectations everywhere. When you go out for a shopping, your initial expectation is I'm going to drive there. Am I going to get a parking? And when you got a parking, your expectation changes. Then will there be a crowd in a restaurant? Will I get a table immediately?
Yep.
So if you look at a complete journey, always there's a change, there's expectations which are changing. So what we really look at is what is customer thinking, feeling, and expecting. But the most critical thing is you should build an ecosystem to deliver it. That's very critical because when you say 30 minutes and net of free, it is all about reverse engineering. Going to the R&D table and seeing that how we can make a pizza ready in 6 minutes, which is in your control. Because once a pizza is out on the road, you don't have any controls. There's a traffic out there, then a security, blah, 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 so many things. So it's that serious business. If you look at any of the businesses today, starting from Ola's, Amazon's, everything, they're built on experience, customer experience. Nothing belongs to them. If you look at today's crisis, I'm not saying just because I'm from experience part of it, the things are going to change. Expectations are going to change a lot of people and customers. And if you don't listen to that, products will be the same, services are the same, everything is the same. But expectations are going to change a lot because of those 21 days. Value systems are going to change. And that is what we really look at. And that we started around 13 years back. We're still struggling in a sense. In Indian context, I would really say that we're still not a customer-centric market. And Germans, yes, US is, of course, UK, yes, definitely they are customer-centric. There's a lot of awareness about customer, what they want, what are their rights. But here it's because of density of population, the tendency is aap nahi aaye to dusra aayega. Someone else will come. Why you? Because there are so many thousands of people walking on a road. Someone will walk into me. But that's not a case in European countries. There's one walking and he has to be converted. Just an example. There we started working on that. How do we? It's all about brand building. It is not about anything else. If you can give a wonderful experience, you go to that restaurant again. When you go to give a wonderful experience, then we go to that clubhouse again and say, oh, wow. And Mr. Nitin will agree to that. Yes, because of the experience people are walking in, been taken care of. Their expectations have been really understood quite well. And then that has been aligned with your ecosystem in an organization because lastly, you can't just commit, right? Your people have to deliver it.
Very true.
So we actually try to really build this whole, or we try to make this both the ends meet. So what is customer thinking and expecting, and what is company thinking and expecting? So when you say customer, the definition changes for us. Customer is not a person only who buys. Our first customer is our own employees.
Oh, yes.
Because that's the biggest, because if we can't bypass them and say, oh, I'll offer a wow experience to the end user. No, it's not possible. Customer is your ecosystem, which is supporting you all the time because you outsource so many things. So we really look at how do we really build on that I would say internal ecosystem And if we can really have a wonderful ecosystem internally, and then we can go out and say, yes, we are ready to deliver. And as I said, it's all about emotional game, nothing else. It's all emotional because as I initially talked about, we are emotional creatures. We'll take a lot of emotions with us. It can be anger, it can be proudness, it can be whatever, blah, 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 blah. And if you can really take care of the situations, then it doesn't matter, because if you want to really talk about, I'm just making a statement here, in the sense, don't take it otherwise, that two coffees are two coffees which you get in two coffee shops. There's no much difference, at least I can find. But experience counts a lot, that how you're being taken care of. And that's
Very true.
how we really take the journey up to. And then we get into a more science. We use a lot of neuroscience in this. Because lastly, it's all about, in very simple
Yes,
layman's language, it's something happening here.
correct.
And if you can really trigger something which is right, wrong, then things can really happen for you. That's all about our moods, with music, with whatnot, everything.
With
So,
smell also.
sorry, yeah,
The
absolutely, everything,
smell,
everything,
yes, it
everything.
counts a
Because
lot.
we have a case of one of the most finest retailers in the. I'm just working on a small case. I'll not take a name there. The issue was one of the prime shops. What they have, they had issue about sales. It never picked up. So when you went there, and we just found out that when you make an entry, the person who welcomes you used to look at you from your toes to your head, and that was insulting, because he was trying to judge whether are you a right buyer. So
Oh,
person used to get really, I mean, annoyed at a point that, is he judging me? Whether do I have a capacity to buy? And that was a turning point. Then we really go work onto that, and so it's that simple, because we are
very small,
all
yeah, makes
absolute,
sense.
because it's more of when you walk right now. As I'm connecting with people, you are making a judgment about me, with my expressions, with the way I'm, and at the end of this, apart from my knowledge, you will be making a brand called Mandar is this, just the way I'm connecting with you, just the
Very
way I'm
true.
behaving with you, and that counts. So there are so many elements which is very complex at a point of time. So we work on this one single word called experience, because that is something you can't avoid. From the time you are born till now, it's experience. Right now we are experiencing everything at this moment,
Correct.
and that continues. And it's whether you want to deal with the world, no, you are walking on the road alone, you are driving alone, you are experiencing because of people around there. And it's a very simple thought that when you experience something, as a humans, you intend to react,
Correct.
and that's where the journey starts. So we really work on this one word called experience,
Okay.
which is something which you can't detach from a human being. And everything for us is human centric. There is no technology, nothing. Technology can be enabled as what you wanted. So we have big B2B clients which purely are dealing on projects, but lastly these projects have been are taken care by human beings.
Very
It's
true.
not automated that you press a button and something happens. No. So
Correct.
there are expectations, there are so many things happen. So that's what the cycle we take care of. It's starting from the expectation that I want to have pizza, till I have it and I become a brand ambassador. Everything has to be really taken care of very smoothly. And for that, you require a very well defined ecosystems, a sensitive people, and then that leads to a culture. So that's the culture of organization. That how do they take care of you? It's like going to a family. That culture talks. When I go to a friend of mine, it's not about that. The culture what they have really makes me feel how warmly I'm being welcomed, and I carry back that. I don't carry that whether he has offered me a cup of tea or coffee or something else. It's all about that wow, wonderful experience you are delivered. So that's a basic part of our day-to-day life. Everywhere you're experiencing something, you can't avoid. And that's
Very
what we
true.
really take further in a very organized way on neuroscience part of it, with a very much of science getting involved in that. We have one of the best guys who really work on that. We have so many good organizations who supports us in that, and trying to see whether we can make a difference with the society. Because if the experience is good, everyone is happy,
Yes.
because you're spending around 8 hours in an organization. And when you say employees are your first customer, if they're happy, then that's enough for them. Salary they're going to get anyway. So it's all about then happiness. So it's all about experience leading to an happiness, which
Happiness.
leads to a wonderful brand image. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Amazing insights, Mandar. Especially, I love the word neuroscience. That's a buzzword nowadays because so many talks are there and it can be tapped, it can be used to serve
Absolutely.
clients better.
Yep.
So, yeah, next question. What would be your advice to our audiences on building the customer value using the customer life cycle?
Ah, that's a big question anyway. It's a simple thing. Just understand human beings.
That's tough.
That's it. That's easy. It is, but that's very difficult.
Very difficult.
People
think-
think of that if I have a technology, I can build a business. No, it is not.
No.
Right? Not possible. If
Not
I
possible.
can train my people, I can. No, it's not about. You make your organization customer centric. When you say customer centric, the person sitting next to you is your customer. That is your colleague. If you can make him happy, because lastly there's dependency there. So it's all about understanding human beings. So it's, if you can just think of that, I'm going to make the next person happy by keeping my values intact, then that's done. So start looking at your company from a customer perspective, not from your own perspective, that I have a great idea. Who cares? Who cares? Literally, no one cares.
Very true. Nobody.
You can go and shout about this idea, no one cares until unless there's a need out there. Or you can create that need, which has been done by Domino's or whoever, or Ola's and Uber's.
Correct.
Amazon, classic example. Nothing belongs to them, right? Literally. But they have built up those wonderful pipelines which actually delivers a wow experience. So start looking at your organization from a customer perspective. Everything will be taken care of.
Fantastic. Yes, all depends upon the human connection, and
Absolutely.
that element has
it's
to be
all
there.
about human. 70% of a customer almost are B2B. People are saying, are you doing some customer experience? So they thought that I'm into retail. Yes, we have some great brands we are working with, but more of it is needed to B2B in a big way.
In a big way.
They are very complex projects they work on. It's not just one sale and everything is done. The sales cycle is quite huge, and the projects has to be delivered in a few years, and there are too many human beings interacting, technology coming in picture, too much of complexities. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing such wonderful insight. So, Rashi, are we having Mandar?
Manda, we did. Rajesh, we don't have.
Rajesh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I liked what Mandar said. I think experience come with, what you absorb. And you
Correct.
absorb through your five senses.
Very
And
true.
using all five senses with emotions to capture everything.
Very
And
true.
I think that is how he's connecting. It's wonderful, I think.
It's all that buzzword called empathy, which has been roundly
Empathy,
used
yeah.
nowadays.
That's also a big
that,
word.
Blend so well.
Absolutely.
Not looking at customer as somebody sitting there outside. And we are going to teach, but it's
customer is the next person sitting to you.
Yeah,
right now, you are all my customers.
And
I'm your
integral
customer.
part of you. Yeah. Thank you. That's wonderful. Charu, Rajesh is not joined.
So I will ask, Anshav to take it further.
Yeah.
I have a question, and I think this question I would like from Mandar and Sven together, and I would want Sven to kind of talk about his experience and his points on the customer life cycle. And I think thanks Sven, for accepting my invite at the last moment. What I would want Sven you to kind of specifically focus upon the customer experience specifically from the Europe or the Germany market, and the way we were talking about how they feel differently, when it comes to the even the easiest way or the simplest thing of when you call somebody, when you invite somebody, when you talk about. So how is your experience on that, and how you can build up the really great delightful experience for the customer?
Perfect. Thank you very much, Anshav. First of all, guten Tag. My name is Sven Wegner. I'm here calling in from Frankfurt in Germany. Love the forum. And yes, Anshav, thank you very much. Before I answer that question, I'll quickly introduce myself. So my name is Sven Wegner. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mainstage Incubator. My other co-founder is also here in this call, Mr. Debashish Chakraborty out of Bangalore. What we do is we build bidirectional innovation bridges between developing ecosystems and developed startup ecosystems. We kicked off with India because, yes, I'm half Indian, half German. And also Debashish being out of Bangalore, it just made sense. Currently, we have onboarded around 3 to 4 other countries, and we're now building bidirectional bridges, also from Germany to India and Germany. Now, with regards to what Anshav mentioned about the different aspects. Now, in India, it's usual to address your peers, your customers by sir, madam, and so on. That does not work in Germany. So if anybody of you work with German customers or are planning to work, do not call them sir or madam. You call them Frau or Herr. Now, Frau is Mrs. or Miss, and Herr is Mr. So, Anschaff, I know, it was very last minute, but it should have been Herr Wegner, not Frau Wegner. Frau Wegner is my other half who's sitting in the other room, but it's totally fine. I liked your initiative.
So, Herr Swan.
Herr Wegner.
Herr Wegner. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Thanks for correcting me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And why did we come up with Mainstage Incubator, right? So before Mainstage Incubator, I used to be in enterprise sales with big corporations, but also startups, and also I did something called sales as a service, and where we were matchmaking international startups with German corporates. And every time we positioned startups there, they said these international startups, they lack not the skill, but it's usual, right? On how to pitch to a German or European customer. So then we came up with the idea of saying, hey, let's build this whole ecosystem around this. Let's coach the startups. Let's give them the know-how. Let's give them the sales know-how and position them in front of a customer. Now, a lot of startups, and I have a real-time example. I'm not going to say any names, otherwise, this is the last time I'm talking here. But perfect example is we had been given 30 minutes to position a solution in front of a German customer. A day before that meeting, I had coached that startup on how to position themselves. Quick 5-minute intro, 10 minutes talking about the problem, 10 minutes about the unique selling points, closure, and then Q&A. We did that, we practiced that, but unfortunately, the startup was so in love about themselves. They spoke for 28 minutes about how cool they are, how great the technology is. And at the 28th minute, they asked the customer, do you have any questions? And then the customer said, listen, guys, and Mr. Wegner, I have 2 minutes left. We are here in Germany. We're very time boxed. No, I don't have any question. And no, I'm not interested to work with you. So what can we learn from this? A, we can learn that we need to prepare ourselves. We need to structure our meetings. And like all the other gentlemen said it here, it's customer centric. You need to focus yourself on the customer. But there are a few steps before that, and that's where I excel at. And I'm not being over smart here by saying that, but a lot of people can confirm this. It's all about prospecting. Now, and that's where the whole sales journey starts, right? It's all about prospecting, and you can prospect via advertisement, like Mandar mentioned. You can prospect, like Nitin mentioned, giving those added value services, like the crash on the stadiums. But then what I do is I love social media. I live in social media on LinkedIn, and that's where I do the prospecting. Now, most of the times I get a lot of prospecting messages from software development companies from Ukraine, India, you name all these countries. And they lack a personalization. They must have a mass bot somewhere and shooting out all these emails towards the peers. B is they don't do research about the company. It's just a standard template. And I had this situation yesterday with Debashish. One person wrote an email to me on LinkedIn saying, hey, I've been following Mainstage Incubator for years. Let's get in touch. We want to help you. And I just replied, sorry, you did not do your research. We don't exist for years. We exist since November. So next time you approach someone, do some research and personalize the message. That's one. Second thing is, what's all important at the start of the customer lifecycle is get to know your persona at the other end, right? We all are customers sitting here, like Mandar mentioned, it's all the person sitting next to us and so on. But if you can do some research, go to their LinkedIn profile, look what common interests you have, or maybe you have a solution which matches them. Don't go and connect just without a message. Connect with them with a value, not the product you're selling, with the value you are trying to give or trying to provide to the other person. If you can do that and connect, then you're already connected on a value perspective and not on the transactional problem solution level. That's one thing. So if you get to connect with that peer on the values level, you can then engage the conversation saying, hey, I really like that you are in blockchain. By the way, I'm a huge cryptocurrency fan. Let's discuss, or let's brainstorm on some ideas. It's the modern way of selling. It's called social selling 2.0. I'm a huge fan of this. If anybody wants some books, or I'm more than happy to share you the names. It helped me, but it also helped the startups. And this is what we do. We do workshops with the startups as well. We give them these modern ways of positioning yourself, building trust, building your network, but also building relationships. And that's what Mandar mentioned again. You have to build a relationship. You could do a transactional sale and make a $10 million and then say, yeah, I got the deal, and move on. But wouldn't it be better to build a relationship with that persona in that target account, sell them small software licenses, whatever? That person might go to the next corporate who's anyway in your target key account. You don't need to go the whole process anymore. You just ring him up and say, hey, I saw that you're at the new company. By the way, I have solution XYZ. Can we talk? So it's of becoming this. It's a transition from the traditional salesperson to the trusted advisor part. Now, if you want to become the trusted advisor, you need to build those relationships first. So my advice is, in this critical Corona outbreak time, is do prospecting, because now you have the time. Now you don't have to commute to work and so on and so on. This is the time to do your prospecting, build relationships, right? Build those relationships. And that's why I'm here. Like, I got into this call because Debashish has been connected with Mani, and Mani is connected with Anshav. And now I'm here. This is my third time I'm joining this call now. And it's all about the relationship. Debashish, would you like to add something?
Hey, thanks, Sven. Well, this is today is your platform, so I think you should, talk more about customer prospecting. But I firmly believe, and I have seen in my journey of customer engagement, is that it starts when nothing has started, and it ends, and it never ends. So that is something which I would say in a very short way, that it starts when nothing has started. So that is what I call as spot prospecting. You identify the customer, do some research on him, start the initial conversation. Your journey and relationship journey has already started at that point of time. And
Perfect.
It definitely never ends.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Just to add as well, there's one more point I've seen, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I think it's a global thing. The follow-up process, that's also where the customer journey starts, right? You have to keep following up with your prospects. Most of the startups, and there's been a big research on this, they stop following up after the second email because they don't hear from their prospect back. I follow up 7 times. Only at the 7th time, changing messages, and there's a good methodology on how to follow up with others, and I'm happy to share this into the group as well, on how to follow up. By the time you reach the 7th follow-up mail, you should have an email or response. But don't go like, for example, dear Mr. So, thanks for the call, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to follow up. And then you don't write in the follow-up mail, I have not heard from you. Can you please respond? No, that's the wrong thing. You remember, you want to become the trusted advisor. Instead of saying, hey, I understand you're busy, everybody's busy during these days. By the way, I thought these links might be interesting because they resonate to what our engagement has been. Be that trusted advisor already for your prospect and build that relationship. Because by the 7th follow-up, he might even already see you as a trusted advisor, and he'll come back saying, hey, Sven, thanks a lot for all these links. Apologies for not coming back. I really liked what you sent me. Let's talk. And this has been 78% of all my emails I've sent out. And I think between November and now, I just checked my inbox. I don't know if it's positive or negative or productive or not, but I've sent out 4,000 emails already from November until now. And most of them are follow-ups, and Debashish can see, and I always copy him as well. So he's always in the loop, and he says, like, Sven, stop spamming me. But it's not actually spam, right? It's value add that value. That's all I wanted to share with you guys here.
Yeah, one thing to add to what Sven does is he uses the same tactic with me also when I forget stuff. He follows up.
Seven
aggressively.
times.
Yeah, so that he uses the same tactic with me as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because you are his customer anyway. So
Absolutely, it starts with
yeah.
that.
And one more thing I think which is very important out here is that follow up means that you respect that other person, you
Yeah.
value that person. And I think there's a very critical element which has been brought up by Mandar and Sven both. And what we are saying is all about experience, the emotional connect. The if you are able to build up the emotional connect right from the advertisement, which Mandar spoke, then to your sales part of it, when you are actually converting it from an interest or an inquiry till the kind of it actually becomes your customer, is what spoken by Sven. And how it has been experienced in the real journey, I think Nitin spoke about it very well and kind of explained out there that how it would be really helpful at that point in time. Uh,
Sven, can you share the name of the book for social selling? Suddenly, the social selling word is coming a lot on LinkedIn.
Yes.
I am new to this topic, so I would love to read some book. Can you suggest a name for some book?
Sure. I can suggest it. It is called The Mastery of Social Selling by Jamie Shanks. Now,
Okay.
I'd have to add, because this is live on YouTube, I am in no way associated to Jamie Shanks, even though we are connected on LinkedIn. We do talk from time to time. I have no affiliation with that book.
Okay, noted. Thank you so much.
And maybe to conclude, neuroscience was brought up as well from Manda, right? And I think
Yes, very
that's a really
important.
important topic. So on the 9th of April, we're kicking off a webinar series from Mainstage Incubator, Better Together Against COVID. And it's more targeted for startups, VCs, but anyone can join. And the first session, we're actually kicking off with creative connectivity,
Wow.
which is all about, and the person behind doing it, his name is Karim Mustagni. He's all into neuroscience and how to use creativity look on different aspects and angles. So I'd be happy to share you guys the link.
Please.
You're all
Yeah,
welcome to come. It will be
love that.
interactive as well. We're gonna use AirMeet for that platform to keep it more open. And yeah, but thank
Sure.
you very much for
so
giving me the opportunity to talk. Was there any other question?
Sven, I would really want to connect with you offline on this, how we can engage and reach out to the Bringle Blended Meetups platform as well, and to the users and the participants who are kind of coming in every day to watch this daily show and have taken the 21 days business sustainability challenge. I'm
Yeah.
sure the kind of experience which you are bringing in with your webinar and the people who are joining in will be able to add a lot of value. So we'll see to it how we can kind of have multiple series running in something like that, and so that our set of viewers also can kind of get benefited out from there.
Oh, definitely, definitely, yes. I'm more than happy to explore synergies. Let's talk about it, bring together both communities and forming a global ecosystem. I'm all
Definitely.
for it. And again, at the end of the day, it's creating a relationship. Mandar mentioned it, Nitin
Absolutely,
mentioned it. We all are
Right.
mentioning it, right?
Very true.
absolutely. So
Mandar, you're
Manda,
mute.
Sorry. So when you look at Indian environment, it's very complex in a sense. When you look at customer centricity, because a company, I'm just referring some Indian names for your cities, and if you look at healthcare, or not healthcare, I would say, it's more of a gym where you do your, what do you say? Uh, let's take an example. I can take it live in a sense. We have one of the clients which is into selling off this high-end curtains, very high-end in a sense. It in Indian rupees, if you want to really do it for your flight, it's going to cost you around 4 to 5 crores rupees in a sense. That high. It's a very premium brand, and it's on appointment and all that. So they have a showrooms at 2 locations, which is around a space of around, you can say, 5 to 10 kilometers, around 10 miles. So the thing is, when a person comes to a showroom X, which is in suburbs of Mumbai, all right, he is a very executive level at some IT company. Both of them earning good amount. They have a 4 BHK flat which they bought for few crores. they come in and so I just forgot, it's not crores, it's lakhs.
Okay.
It's 4 or 5 lakhs, sorry. So he comes 10 times and he sees, he gets his interior guys, and the experience has to be that I'm buying something 4 to 5 lakhs for my just to set up my curtains. And he's expecting something because he is so proud that I'm associating with this brand. The same brand, which is at somewhere in city of Mumbai, there are those film stars who comes and do impulse buying. They'll just walk in and just they'll pick up something with 4 to 5 lakhs like nothing. So the experience has to vary for both. You can't
Yeah.
have same experience. The first guy is coming 5 times with his interior designer. The next guy at next shop is coming once. The distance is only 10 miles, but experience, the products are the same. Another client is a fitness client. They are into fitness industry. Again, same situation that the equipments are the same, but the experience what you deliver at two locations in Mumbai has to be drastically different because
Yeah.
the customer comes from a different perspective. Their profiling is quite different, and that counts a lot. So it's always needs to be looked from a customer perspective. What do they want? What do they expect? And then start building up a strategy around that. That's very critical, and that's very complex. Means I was working with some of the. We are trying to really engage with some of the US companies on customer experience part, and they said, okay, that's too complex market for us, and since we can't understand really how do we really standardize the experience in a sense, which is not possible. So that's been like always a challenge for us, and how do we really understand the emotions of all those peers of society and then start designing something for the same company. It's not even two different companies. For the two showrooms, the experience has to be different.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. And
something which
it's all about customization, right? And again,
absolute.
it's all about research. You have to do your account research and
Yes,
customization.
it's all about emotions again,
Yeah.
because here the film stars have a different emotional. I don't know what. I don't have a word anyway for that. But they just go and just say, okay, I want to buy this for 4 or 5 lakhs.
Yeah.
For the first part, it's like 5 visits, and they're so proud about that. I bought something for 5 lakhs. So that's the dimension. But there, what you can do is you can really specialize, or you can actually build a brand around which can't be
Yeah, that's
copied.
true.
Everything
That's
else can
true.
be copied. You can copy the product, pricing, availability, everything can be copied by the next stop. But if you can build a very wonderful customer centric culture in an organization, then it can't be copied. No way, you can't. And that is
Yeah.
a big value. That is a brand which you carry further. So you don't know what you'll be selling after 5 years from now. Just taking a name, Starbucks doesn't know what coffee they'll be selling after 4 years from now, I'm sure about. But experience, yes, they can define.
Yeah. True.
No company knows what they'll be selling after 5 years, but there's one thing which they can carry further is an experience and a culture of organization which they have a whole control on.
True.
Yeah,
True.
please, thanks.
So I have a small question, and I
Yeah,
typically ask this question from the perspective of the small businesses or even startups who probably have only one or two co-founders, probably a single co-founder who is kind of running the organization. Now, in that scenario, how do we bridge that gap from the advertisement? Because advertisement will talk about big things, what we are selling, and it will always be a jazzy, probably a very good looking creatives and things like that. But when it comes to the actual scenario, the same person is actually doing the operations, the same person is working on the handling the sales and everything put together. How do we do that handoff from those small businesses perspective so that these problems are kind of don't happen in terms of the gap which is kind of created over there? So this question I will have it from Mandar as well as from Sven, because I think Sven has to leave. So Sven, if you can actually share your experience, because you
Sure.
might give a sale, and then what will happen if we are not able to deliver that value, whatever we have promised to the customer, and this could be real challenges within the organization.
Sure, definitely, definitely, and thank you very much. And I can tell you, there's a living example. It's me and Debashish. We are two co-founders here with Mainstage Incubator. We wear several hats, and to the question, how do you delegate it on, right? We are currently also in the process of bringing in partners, external partners, and that is one way to delegate off and take off the weight off your shoulders. And That's what we're doing, and it feels really good to have your weight off your shoulders. We're expanding, and that's how every startup or SMB should think about. But if you don't have that 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 situation where you can expand and delegate stuff, I would always say, and I think everybody can agree, it's about time management. Plan your day, plan on how you engage with stuff, even the night before. And I do this on a daily basis. Whatever is there tomorrow, I do it tonight. I plan it down, I write it down, and I do top 10 priorities. What is super burning and what not. Now, ideally, or it should never come to a scenario where you don't deliver what you promise, right? So I will always say, if you cannot deliver, then do not promise. If you are confident that you can deliver something, then work on it and do a trial run with some people. And this is, I think it's not rocket science, and everybody can agree to this. That's my part on this. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Perfect. So if you look at startups, usually we definitely work with few of them, in a sense, not much, because we have our own practical difficulties really working with startups. Sorry for that, but still, we always are, means we have been pushed on those SME or all those segments also, not only startup, but SME segment, which requires a small businesses, which requires this. The problem there is they're too me-centric, at least for startups, that they have that big thought that I have a big idea. And to come out from that is a big challenge. Customer never asked you whether you are a big company, small company. They want a product to be delivered. Have you asked anytime the Domino's guys that how much big team you have, or anyone else? You don't, till the things are being delivered, you don't care. As a human being, you don't care about it. Yes, I am expecting something which you promised. Just deliver it to me. That's a simple expectation anyone has. So as I agree with, in a sense, you have to wear those different hats, which even happens at our end. We are not a big team anyway, but we have a very mature team. No one asks us whether how many people you have, but we have the best and best clients in India today. What happens is they expect that if you promise something, deliver it. If you can go beyond, it's wow. So understanding of expectations of the customer and what you are capable of delivering has to really match, because it can't mismatch anyway. You need to talk the same language, and that's where something it might mismatch, wherein all those human factors comes in picture, because there are difficulties, there are wrong promises sometime in done, something which has not been delivered as per the promise. There are so many reasons. It can't be perfect all the time. But if you can really build good empathy towards the customer, if you can really start valuing him a lot, just not look at him as a money machine who really keeps on paying you for something. No, things would really be great. You have to build relation. I really agree with Swan, and so you need to build a relation that counts, because people ask us that how do you have those big great clients? I said it's not me, it is the person from X company takes me to the Y company. He moves, he says, because I have built a relation with him. Otherwise it's impossible to get in an entry at somewhere in Tatas and L&Ts and Sen-Gobins of the world. It's too big. So understanding of every problem, because see, just in every person in an organization is working for a customer, every person, but we never realize this. The biggest and most important person in an organization, we always say, is a person who cleans it, sweeps your office, sweeper. If it doesn't call 4 days, you'll never call me to your office. It's going to be but unfortunately, he's a sweeper for us. But he adds a huge value in customer experience. He keeps that place so neat, clean. So it's all about emotions, nothing beyond that. You have everything ready in the environment today. Whatever you want to, you can plug and play and do everything whatever needed. But if you can really understand human beings, that's the end of it. You need to understand, and that's a need. You're doing a need analysis at a point in time. You're getting into more, I'm using a very simplified language of human beings, but it gets into science, it goes into marketing, sales, research, understanding the trends, all those big data, small data, pull something from that, get what exactly is needed for society, and you start delivering it. But you need to be a sensitive towards this society, then only you can do that. If not, then it's very impossible, because no one cares. No one cares what we are. They have options today. They can go to someone else, get the same service. As I said, always product you can differentiate on. All right, price you can't differentiate on, in a sense, in the same bracket. Availability, everything is available everywhere. Then why you? Is a big question. Every company, whatever size they are,
Look, I think
they have. Yeah, please.
So Mandar, you're
Yeah.
right. I think I would like to actually little divert my question to Nitin now, because he is one of those people who has kind of been an entrepreneur and set up his own company over there. And Nitin, if you're there, I have this question specifically from you, because while we can do the good advertisement, we can sell it better, but when it comes to servicing the customer, and I'm sure you would have faced multiple challenges on that. So if you can kind of, Nitin, share some of your experience towards that, that when whatever you have marketed, whatever you have tried to do the best, and there
Yeah,
is
sure.
some irritated
First of
customer who
all,
has
I work in this company. It's a big investment. I know it always has been. So when it's large events, you don't get them every day, so you have to retain them. You have to make sure, as Mandar also said, the customer experience has to be flawless, because if you don't do the repeat, you've lost a big ticket revenue for life. Uh, and I'm saying this with a lot of pride that there's no football in Ahmedabad. Football has been brought by me into our stadium. We have had from Chennai, from Delhi, from Kolkata clubs coming and utilizing our facility. And the reason being is my colleagues, the team that I lead, have made sure that when the client comes, and that's the football club which come, and that Sven will agree that being a German, a football club's coach and the technical staff and the players they come with a different attitude. But we give them such an experience that today in the footballing community in India, it's well said that when you go to Transtadia, you just have to focus on your team training and match play. Transtadia will take care of everything. Now we don't have to do that, because actually we just have to take the rent and go home, let the event organizer and everybody else organize the event at our venue. But our team is always in the forefront. That reputation has to be built, and it has to be cast in stone as a standard operating procedure, so that year on year big ticket events come. That is not every day. We also have like everyday experiences. As I said, we have the school league that we host every month. We started with only 12 schools participating in 2008. By 2010, we have reached 120 schools. Now, that's only possible by making sure that every student athlete goes happy playing the event. The administrators, so the school administrators, feel happy that they have got a good experience. And Sven will agree, and any of you who are associated with sports, there is also the world over, sports is governed by federations and associations. Now, they only want respect because they are not earning from you. They come as technical staff, they provide the service, the daily allowance, and they go home. But we make sure even they go back with an experience. Reason being is big bias at the word than any full page ad in the Times of India or on Star Sports. And this has been ingrained. I can take credit for it because I'm the CEO for that division in the system. That it's non-negotiable, right from the junior most colleague till the managing director. So I report to a managing director. When the event is on, I'm in charge. So the managing director has to make sure that the government official or the chief guest is well received and engaged. I have to make sure that the commissioner of the league is taken care of. My second in command has to make sure the technical team is taken, and the junior most team has to look after the team members. So because we all assign team members to each team. Uh, and the call of duty is never treated as a call of duty. It's treated as partnership with the customer. So that is something that has been institutionalized by us. This is much required because in India, sports is a very, very young industry, and we see it growing year on year. I was in advertising, by the way, Mandar. I was in Percept advertising for a good many years. And then I moved in. I've seen the transformation in the industry, and we see that in the years to come, the sector will grow. As we are in the lockdown, I still am reaching out to international clubs because they can't not be able to provide facilities if they can come for tours to India. So yeah.
Nitin, I think there is some network issue out there. So I think I have another question from Lavanya to Mandar. So Mandar, if you can just quickly answer, I think we have overshooted our show today again. So the question from Lavanya is, what about the aspect that you're getting too emotional about your work? Now that's a very another angle which you are talking, which is talking about. It said that being emotional is not professional. So how do you want to answer that?
Absolutely. See, it's all not about emotions. It's all about rational experience. For example, it's emotional is one part of it, but you need to be rational somewhere. In a sense, when I give example of Domino's 30 minutes, every time it has to be 30 minutes. You can't vary. So they should a rational thing which has to come up. So emotional things get rational at a point. It's not too much of emotional, but you need to understand. So you can't be emotional about every, because at a point when you grow up, you can't meet every customer. But every customer is a unique customer. He has his own egos. Yes. So we need to build that culture, and you need to get that culture in your people. So don't, emotion is one aspect of it, a very small aspect, but I'm saying that is needed. That is needed somewhere. Every person has to empathize, but that doesn't mean he should get carried away with whatever has been asked for or something. So there should be as we talked about, that there should be very clear stringent rules about the business. You can't go out from that. You can't. But how do we really work on those frameworks? If you look at Starbucks as a classic example, they are not emotional. They have very rational about what they deliver, but yet they understand the respect. So it is a fine balance of both human mind and technology or processes or whatever you talked about. As Mr. Nitin said, is taking ownership towards that. It's not emotional. Ownership is an ownership, but if you really look at your customer as a customer, it will never happen. So there has to be, because we work a lot on those business rules. But business rules are worked once we understand human beings. You can't enforce those rules on human beings. He'll say, I don't want it. So it's a very fine balance between both. And if you can manage that balance, it's great. You can't be emotional, because then you will be out from the business completely. But if you don't also understand human beings, then it's going to be very difficult, because we are not robots. So it's a fine balance. First, understand human beings and then design an ecosystem around that. The ecosystem is all about then disciplines and getting that rational things out, and delivering pizza every time in 30 minutes. You can be 35 next time. It's nothing about emotions after that. But 30 minutes, it's big. I'm just giving an example. I'm not promoting anyway Domino's, nothing to do with them. They are not my client also anyway. But still, that's one of the classic example everyone knows. But then you need a system. On 7th minute, pizza has to be ready. On 13th minute, it has to be out in on the road. So that's a discipline. But whole of the play is not about what are the ingredients in pizza, but you'll be delivered in something in 30 minutes. There are many examples we work on, even in B2B situations. So it's not about what product you have. L&T has the best products. They have best services, but still there are human beings. So it is a well balanced, because last year business is run by humans, not robots or machines or anything else. And even if you want to look at an Amazon kind of situation, you need to have sensitive people who can empathize and understand at the Amazon end, saying that what is the need of Indian customer. And then only you can build that pipeline which can deliver, because we work in a very unique way. We behave in a very unique way, which is not as Europe or US. And if you don't understand that, then they can't just get a technology and put in here. So yes, it has to be both rational and emotional, a well balance of both. And then it can be a big success. It can't be just rational saying I'm going to put a pipeline there with some softwares up there, and you don't know about a customer, or it can be emotional also, because lastly your customer's base is going to be quite big. So that's always a balance. It's not about only emotional.
I
So
think
that has been
that's a
missing now.
fair.
Yeah,
I think
please.
that's a very fair point, Mandar. That it has
Right.
to be a balance. It cannot
Balance.
be over or under. Where I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a very common saying. Whatever you do, more or less,
Yeah,
it's not right. It has to be in appropriate manner. So I
absolutely.
think with
No,
this, uh,
Yeah.
I just want to check if there is any question coming in, Sharmila.
Sharma, yes.
not a question. I'll give an example to Lavanya. Uh, mm, I uh, I had a, cafe coffee day in my previous organization in the campus, and every day at 9:30 I would go down and have an espresso. So the server was deaf. So all I would do was tell him one shot, right? From that day on, till the day I left, I had that one shot at 9:30 without asking for anything. I would just walk in, it would be ready at 9:30, I would have it and get out. So that experience with Cafe Coffee Day has continued with the one that I have across the road from my house, because I have experienced it in one, in two, no, in three of them. I have to just tell them one shot, and that does it. There is no other discussion. Similarly, I had this very bad experience with Mahindra Resorts. Horrible. The guy calls up to enroll me, and while we are talking, he tells me, "Ma'am, I believe you are drunk." I have a speech problem, that's different. But he assumed I was drunk. So I said, "No, I'm not. You know, you sound like that." I said, "Yeah, maybe. But that's how you feel. You have a choice to shut the call." He did that. I tracked him back and I reported him to his senior. He was sacked. Now, anyone who calls on Mahindra is given the same treatment because I had a bad experience in, say, 25 years back. But if I walk into a CCD anywhere, I don't have to talk to them. They understand that empathy is there. So very small things, uh, but the customer experience is something huge.
Absolutely. Very much. Yep.
No, brilliant example,
Brilliant
Absolutely.
Sharmila,
example.
as a
Brilliant.
customer,
Absolutely.
because not many people can see it as a customer experience. I mean, of course, you have both experiences and repercussions of that.
Yep.
I think that is what something is very important for all of us to understand, that uh, is customer, unless you understand the customer, emotionally connect with them, create that experience during the entire life cycle, and you are able to retain the customer retention time also will be much larger and longer rather. And of course, you will get a lot of references and more customers. And I think yesterday we had a point, wherein I mean, acquiring the lost customer is much 10 times more costlier than gaining a new customer.
Perfect.
So it is always beneficial to retain your existing customers, and that can be done only by building right relationships, creating those experiences. I think with this, I would like Mani to conclude today's day with the pulse of wisdom from all the speakers which he has captured.
Thank you, Ansha. It was a very exciting and a very interesting discussion all through. I've been noting down and kept on noting down, and I'm still noting down. So there's so many points to actually look at, and it's been a complete 360 degrees of customer experience discussion. But I could definitely note a few pearls of wisdom which people can have the takeaways. First one is from Mr. Nitin Berry, where he emphasizes that the essence of customer experience is to make the customer spend minimum 2 to 3 hours a day and extend the place as his family. I mean, whatever the best he would get the experience with his family at your place is what the essence that makes the customer get the complete experience. And the second one is more of a reputation has to be built as a standard operating procedure, and it has to be part of the entire customer strategy. Thank you for that, sir. It was very share to have that from all your experience. And moving on to Mr. Mandar, this was a complete brand session for me. I've been relooking at all the concepts. I've been reworking as Mr. Mandar was talking. But there are quite a few things I've noted down. The best part was like the three things: thinking, feeling, and expecting are the three factors that impact a customer's experience. And the most critical of that is building an ecosystem within your business to deliver it. So that's been very fantastic share. And going forward, there's another interesting share in the similar lines, but it's a total different way. Understanding human beings is all the value that takes to build your organization, more of a customer centric approach. That was also very, very helpful share. Thank you for that, Mandar sir. It was a very great share. And moving on to Sven, he first helped me understand how to greet people in Germany. Pro and Herr is the way. It's not Mr. and Mrs. That was really helpful. And also the insight he gave into social selling and all about neuroscience, the discussion we had along with him and Mr. Mandar was really interesting and very new age approach to understand the sales for the next term to come. And also the best part was about prospecting. I understood prospecting, but when Sven put it more in a point manner, it was more easy to understand than it's been said. So I've actually listed around 7 to 8 points of the entire process of prospecting, whatever he has said. I'll just try to quickly reiterate it here. Prospecting will be a key if we have these following 7 things. One is you personalize, don't use a standard template, know your persona at the other end, connect them with a value, engage them in the dialogue, build the relationship as a trusted advisor, and most importantly, follow up, which can give 78% of success, which creates a value. And yeah, and last but not the least, which was shared also by Debashish, the customer experience is almost like it starts when nothing has started and ends when everything has ended, or it never ends. With this, thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful share today. And I hand it over to Rajshri for the next point. Thank you.
I think Ansha will be talking about the sponsors and then conclude.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mani,
yes, Ansha.
just a moment. Yeah, Mani. Okay. So I was actually wondering if, I was only getting echo in my, earphone. I think it was only me. good that it was not for the everybody. Now with this, I would just like to thank our all the speakers today who have spent their valuable time with us, share their pearls of wisdom in various different parts of the life cycle, right from advertisement to sales to the execution part of it. And I think I see that I think Rajesh could not join in because of his preoccupation or some challenges. But I would also want to thank him for for at least accepting our request for this session. We will definitely connect with him, Rajshri.
Yeah.
I would also want to now take a special mention to our radio partner, Radio Masti 24 by 7 Southeast, 24 by 7 Singapore. They are the only Hindi live radio channel running across Southeast Asia, and people can tune in to know about various pearls of wisdoms, which are the going to be the the small pearls of wisdom will be they will also be talking about it on their channel. So you can please download their mobile application and listen to those experts, their pulse of wisdom as well. Please tune to that Radio Masti 24 by 7 Singapore, and you'll be able to see few pulse of wisdom there. They already have 1.4 million listeners across Southeast Asia at this point in time. Along with that, I would also like to thank the core team of Bringle Blended Meetups, because of which this entire event, or I would say a 21 days business sustainability challenge, has been possible to be running. I would like to specifically thank Charu for who is running a womenlines.com, an online magazine, which is actually the topmost 40 among the topmost 40 magazines out there. I would like to thank Rajshri, who is working on gender neutrality and HR transformation with our organization Poonam Foundation. And I would also want to specifically thank Mani for designing this entire program called Design Your Unicorn, creating those 5 stages in terms of white belt, yellow belt, green belt, blue belt, and black belts. It's a certification cum mentoring program, and because of which his vision and structuring, I think this entire show, is becoming a very value-added opportunity for everybody. He's running an organization called Soulworks, and he mentors dozens of startups at this point in time. And he'll be also supporting the entire mentoring activity for the Designer Unicorn as well. So with this, I would like to ask Charu to if you can just say a thank you to all the viewers today and the speakers.
Thank you, Aisha. It was an awesome evening and so many things to add to my notebook. I'm just hurrying up now to just list out and so that I don't forget. And yeah, it's such a big topic, and all the points shared by all speakers, we have to take care so that we can grow in our career and the business what we want to make sustainable. That's the aim of the session, that we have to make our business sustainable. So all the points we have to apply, whatever learning we had. Thank you so much to everybody, and
Thank
stay
you.
safe and take care. Over to you, Rashri. You
Bye.
want to say
Yeah,
something?
no, thank you very much. Wonderful. I'm still in thoughts how much I have taken and are now
Correct.
amazing, amazing. Every day it's a
Amazing
learning.
learning.
Yeah.
Very
So let's
true.
culminate that all these pearls of wisdom in a more structured videos and
Yeah.
articles as for our digital and physical hard copy book as well.
Yeah.
So that we can help out maximum businesses.
Very true.
With this, I would also like to shout out to all the businesses and startups across the globe to please come and submit your business presentations at www.ringleacademy.com/course/business sustainability, and we will be selecting 10 startups who will get a chance to get published in our book Design Your Unicorn, along with all the best of the speakers whose pulse of wisdom would also be published out there. We all together at Bringle team, along with Money and the Design Your Unicorn methodology, we would be helping you to achieve your $1 billion dream. So let's take forward and let's all accept once again 21 days business sustainability challenge.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
for
Thank you
joining.
so
Thank
much.
you,
Stay
guys.
safe, everybody. Take care.
Thanks.
Keep
Thank you.
bringing, keep growing.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks
Thank you all.
everyone. Bye.